It's the NUKA-COLA Lounge, presented by the Triple S League.
NUKA-COLA was a popular drink in the pre-war era, and still is today.
Hey everybody, welcome to the NUKA-COLA Lounge podcast. This is the zombie, formerly known as Asheninity. Pardon me if my voice is a little rough. I had a coughing fit last night that, kept me
Almost
up.
Killed you?
It was...
Almost killed you?
It felt like it, yeah.
I've got to say that a lot of people have been a lot sicker this year than in most other years. And I'm really curious as to know exactly what's going on in that regard. I do have a family friend who is a leading virologist for colds and flus and stuff like that. And yeah, he's been saying the same thing. It's a lot higher this year, and they don't really know why. They think it might have something to do with the warmer than normal winter, but in areas in the world where it's been a record cold year in recent history, it's also been just as bad. So that might have something to do with it, increased travel and that kind of stuff. So who knows? That is really bizarre, and I hope we don't have a full-in pandemic here, because that would not be fun.
Well, I'm hoping we chalk it up to just a massive fluke. Thankfully, it's been really bad colds and things like that, and not so much like something a lot deadlier. By the way, the other voice you're hearing is the man with no face, Siberia, who is our resident talking voice about all things nerdy and gaming and mysterious and vaguely otherworldish. So, we were just talking about the new Overwatch character, who is some kind of robot, right?
Yeah, so it's a robot. Yeah, it's good to see Blizzard including more robot characters, because I like their take on AI and robots. I think it's a little bit more down the line of what we might see, and a little bit less of the Skynets and stuff like that. But we're actually gonna have a special podcast where we talk about that.
Speaking of the coming robot apocalypse, which we talked about last week with Peter Tchaikovsky, and we talked about Amazon delivery drones and all that fun stuff, well, now it seems Pizza Hut's getting in on the game. You now can get shoes that can order pizza for you.
Shoes.
You can order pizza with your shoes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you say shoes?
I said
the things that are on your feet.
Yeah, that I'm not aware of another...
Will somebody please call Get Smart and tell them that somebody has stolen his shoe phone idea?
Well, it's funny. I was just thinking about Get Smart this morning. It's funny that you should mention that. I don't know why.
Does it have anything to do with the fact that people are ordering things from their shoes?
No, actually, no. I saw this pizza ordering shoe thing after that, but I was just thinking about Get Smart and how funny that show was, and nostalgia. Anyway, so the vendor entered into this deal to make 64 pairs of these pie top shoes, which have a button on them, and use geolocation to just order you a pizza. You can push this button and order a pizza. Now, I have no idea how you select what toppings you want on it or whatever. But
I got a quick question. What happens when you have a I don't know, say a dog that likes to chew on your shoe? Are you suddenly going to have a guy show up with 130 pizzas, going, well, here's 130 pizzas for you.
No.
We already deducted that from your PayPal account. So
come on, dude. Let's be serious here. They're going to be delivered by drone, obviously.
Oh, yes, obviously.
Sorry.
Obviously, sorry. Which is even worse, because you can't talk to a drone. You can't be like, no pizza. Pizza delivery. No pizza. Here you are. Pizza. Have a nice day.
I can just see this. This guy opens his door and there's all these drones hovering there in his yard, and just we have your pizza. And they're all talking at once. Enjoy your pizza. Have a nice day. Your payment has been automatically deducted. Blah 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 blah.
The last 5 of them are your insufficient funds.
Yeah,
insufficient funds. Insufficient funds.
Here's something I didn't expect to see in the news. No Man's Sky wins an award.
Yeah, I heard about this a couple days ago, and I was like...
Yeah, this is actually hilarious. So the No Man's Sky developer, Hello Games, they won the Innovation Award at this year's Game Developers Choice Awards, which actually is it's for the 2016 games, even though it's being held in 2017. They won this Innovation Award, and they weren't there to receive it. because they were out eating dinner because they figured there was no way they were going to be winning any awards. So they didn't even attend the ceremony.
I thought it was funny when I first heard it. They're like, "Oh yeah, there was nobody there to receive the award," and we know that they were, members from the team on site, but they just didn't show up. And I was wondering. I was like, I bet you they were like, okay, if we win, I'm not going up on that stage. I'm not going to get booed and have people troll me for the rest of my life. There's nothing I could say. There's nothing I could do to remedy that sudden urge of like. So I think this is probably the best way that they could have handled it. Is just not by picking up the award at all, and then one of the presenters, whatever, drops it off to them down the road.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were a lot of things that were revolutionary about No Man's Sky. I got to say that the fact that you can travel from world to world was pretty brilliant, and there's a lot of technical things that are definitely groundbreaking. However, the way they put it together,
yeah,
and then the way they, misinformed the public. That was where they dropped the ball, which doesn't say anything necessarily bad about the guy programming the things that are groundbreaking. That's more of a upper management / marketing problem.
True.
So.
Yeah, and I mean the game looks beautiful. So they obviously did something right, and to their credit, after the horrible bomb that cannonball splash that it made after launch, they've been quietly working to try and fix it. Yes, they've also brought in modders and let modders. They're starting to let modders like just run all over the game with everything. So we might see a really good. I mean, we might see some really good stuff that's tied to the game in the future. Like for example, I think it was Arma that somebody used the Arma engine to create the DayZ thing, and I think there was more people who played the DayZ than they played the actual like Arma game. So that's something else too, where it's like the community often can create bigger and better projects that affect the gaming world down the road to a far greater degree. There was a modder who created a romance mission / quest thing in the original Neverwinter Nights, a very long time ago, for Bioware. But she created this mod that was all about romance and some hanky panky and stuff like that. And she said she created it a bit as a bit of a joke, but she did really good writing in it. So she ended up getting picked up by Bioware, who then incorporated that stuff into Dragon Age and Mass Effect, in the fact that I was going to say, did they hire her for Mass Effect Andromeda? Because
now that's the rumor that I heard. I haven't. It's been a long time since I looked into the story, and I can't remember for sure. But I know that she was interviewed by a couple of magazines, and there was some talk about that. And I mean, lo and behold, the next series of games definitely had romance options in them, because it was the highest ranked mod for the longest time. It's just brilliant that the community can take that kind of stuff, create mods for it, and then run with it. So I think we have, something that's good here, and we'll see that in the future.
Along those lines, BioWare GM Aaron Flynn, about a week and a bit ago, responded to somebody on Twitter a question about the sexual content of Mass Effect Andromeda, basically saying, yeah, it's totally softcore space porn. So now he's coming out.
I think he regretted using those words.
Now he's coming out with the clarification, saying he was being sarcastic and gave the wrong impression. His correction tweet reads in part, "We have strong characters, great gameplay, romances, and more, all dealing with mature themes, etc." So he's backpedaling hard on that because I guess, I don't know. Apparently, comparing your game to softcore porn isn't a great marketing move.
But
who'd have thought?
The thing that was funny about that is their sales skyrocketed when he said that. And so, I mean, it's just that, he's got to be, the companies are forced to be PC, which is kind of sad. But at the same time, it was a joke, for crying out loud. He was saying, yeah, no, like, you can bang everything, and it's gonna have lots of those options. He didn't mention, and I know this to be a fact, is that you don't have to do any of those things. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to. You're not forced into picking a companion to get frisky with or to develop a relationship with. It's not like tutorial. In the tutorial, it's like, all right, now please pick from one of these 3 ensigns which one you would like to wine and dine for the evening. Press this button for wine. Press this button for food. Press this button for chocolates. And if you do this enough times, you'll get a cutscene. It's an option.
I just hope it doesn't sneak up on you like in previous Mass Effect games.
Or where you choose Dragon Age games are the worst. Where it's like, oh, my parents passed away. Oh,
let me comfort options. You now. Yeah.
I feel sorry for you. Second option. Well, that's funny. Ha ha ha. Total asinine. You're like, oh, okay. Well, sorry to hear that. And there goes my male dwarf with the male wizard. Okay, this is not something I was exactly excited to see, but yeah, that's okay. The last time I'm nice to a companion.
Yeah, hopefully it's a little more obvious than that, because the last thing I need is to have my 4-year-old come bounding down the stairs while I'm accidentally choose an option that sends 2 characters off to bed. I don't always hear them or see them when they're coming around my desk, so it's like, Daddy, what are those blue people doing? Ask your mother.
They're exercising.
Yeah. Yeah, he's her spotter.
It's a cultural, and it's very much a cultural thing for the Asari. So Asari culture. We're celebrating Asari culture.
We're celebrating Asari culture. Can you say that about any culture though? Because really, how else do you get more people to pass your culture on to?
Well, I mean, there are cultures who like monks.
I wouldn't call that a culture, but did you ever play Siberia or Siberia 2?
Yes, I did. The old ones from the late 90s.
Yeah,
and I've said before, I was really shocked to see that there's a new Siberia coming out. I looked at it, I did like a triple take on that. I was like, what? Like,
it's coming out next month, apparently.
I am not looking at anything about it because I want to be surprised. I think it's one of those type of games that's really low key, and I think it'll maybe come into its own after it's come out. So I'm not even gonna like look at a trailer or any information on it until after it comes out.
Oh, so. Fair enough. But Siberia 2 is free now for a little while. If anyone out there is interested in grabbing it, EA has released it for free for a limited time. I don't know how limited, so you might want to get on that. I'm going to go grab it today just because I'm very curious about it, especially with the new game coming out next month. April 20th, Siberia 3 launches, and Siberia 2 you can get through Origin for free right now. So just wanted to toss that in for anyone who's interested.
Yeah, it was Siberia 1 that I played. I didn't get a chance to play Siberia 2, so that I might take advantage of.
I don't know. I know nothing about this game, but just looking at screenshots for it, it looks really interesting. It looks almost like it reminds me of Skyrim, just the sort of setting of it and style. So, have you spent the week avoiding Zelda spoilers like me?
I have been avoiding most of them. I haven't lined up my chance to play it because I didn't feel that spending $300 some odd bucks on playing one game was worth it for now. So, and I never buy hardware. I try to avoid, not never, but I do try to avoid buying hardware, release day hardware. And this is kind of proven why. There's apparently a lot of people, like more than 10%, which is a significant number, whose switches are not working. And the fact that a lot of them are having, backlog issues. That it's not like, hey, take it back to the store. It's like, mail it back and, in 5 to 8 weeks you might get a new one. It's like, it's pretty bad right now, and I know that they're really trying to catch up, but it's been not a huge gong show, but it has been a little bit of a gong show,
right.
And that is not a good thing.
Their sales are through the roof, though. They
it is, and they honestly have moved in the right direction, much better than we can say about their last console. The Wii U, I mean, was kind of a abject failure.
I will say, though, they really remedied that situation when they released Mario Maker.
Yes, no, and that's a good point.
Myself and several people I know bought used Wii U's exclusively. Actually, my friend bought new, one of the last ones available in the area. We bought them exclusively for Mario Maker, and this also goes to show the asininity of the Nintendo's YouTube policies. It's the YouTube videos of Mario Maker that made me want to buy it. I didn't know about it until I saw YouTubers playing it, and it was like, that looks like so much fun.
And honestly, I ignore about, probably about 80 to 90% of the content that they make for their exclusive games that they make for their consoles, because I have no interest in, tempting myself to buy something. So I just I'm like, it's on the Wii U. Oh, well, I'm not buying that then. And I just kind of bypass it. And that hurts the community all around. Going back to Zelda here, I think it was Kotaku had a great article on things that you can do when not playing, you don't have the ability to play Breath of the Wild. And I thought that was really, really hilarious, because their first one is play a different game. It's like, well, no, really? What? I never thought of that before. Oh my goodness. Then there are other ones that are like, go for a walk, ignore the resentment, the growing resentment that you have. Those are great concepts. Other ones, a little bit more costly. Buy a horse, find a sword, and from there on it just gets a little bit darker. So,
or you could, buy the game and play it.
Yeah.
Just saying, it's probably cheaper than a horse. Horses are expensive.
I do have to say that out of the combat that I have seen from Zelda, that I'm really impressed with has been the mounted combat. Looks just absolutely phenomenal. And this is a good thing, because this is the first game that I think has actually gotten mounted combat correct, and I'm really, really loving the stuff that I've been seeing on it. So yeah, I'm gonna play it at some point. Probably gonna have to bum the console off somebody, but or I'll wait a few weeks until the tech issues kind of calm down. But yeah, no, it looks great, and I really, really wish that we could do more videos on it. But anyway, what else we got in the news this week?
The creators of Second Life are developing a social VR platform. Interesting.
A new Second Life game. Okay, alrighty.
I have one experience with Second Life, and that is being sexually solicited by a stranger within 5 seconds, and I was like, nope, and the heck out of here.
Oh, it's so funny because it's so true. Yeah, I remember getting on Second Life at the behest of a friend and porting in, and the first thing I encountered was a group of people talking about tools of the trade, shall we say? And I was just 180, turn around, and
slowly
I think
back away.
I think it's better now, because they kind of force that stuff into areas now where it makes more sense. It's that way. It's not you're getting into this was ages ago. It was the starting area, and you could just walk around and you could literally hear people talking straight off the bat, and they were talking about anything and everything, and it was just it was a little much. It was a little much for somebody who was looking for just a a regular kind of like multiplayer experience. Like, hey, where's some stuff I can kill? You know, this and stuff like that is like, well, it doesn't exist here. And by the way, we're talking about. Would you be interested in joining the the New Light movement? What's that? Oh, well, we've discovered that we can speak to aliens through sunlight. It's like, oh, really?
Right on. You sound like a bunch of sane and well-adjusted people. I'll just avoid the Kool-Aid on the way out.
Yeah, add me to the friends list. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Just, and proceed to uninstall immediately after logging out.
Oh, man, yeah. I had that thing on my computer for about 5 seconds. But I don't know. Apparently it was popular enough that they're making something new with VR.
The concepts for it are good, like I said. They're really good. It's just that they were poorly implemented in the first drafts. But, I mean, that's part of the fun, right? And there's a lot of people who did enjoy it for the, the crazy amount of freedom and insanity and also cool stuff that happens there. I mean, a lot of artists, a lot of musicians used it as a platform for many, many years to spread their music and stuff like that. And that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. There's even talk shows and stuff like that happen on it quite regularly. And honestly, it's a great concept. It's a great direction of, where things are headed. And so that's a good thing.
My question is, do enough people have access to VR that this is a viable...
Not for now, but that might change in the future here. So, already we're starting to see that the newest VR tech is already coming down quite significantly in price, and it's just a matter of fact of getting the technology, starting to make it, and then once you have full-fledged factories for it, then you drop the price. Then the price drops on it quite quickly. So, the only thing that you really have to worry about is, upgrading and, new visuals and all that kind of stuff. So.
So, Nier Automata is coming out this week. It's already out in some areas.
It's looking really, really good. And I gotta say, I love the fact that you're playing this robot, this amazingly hot robot chick, and you can self-destruct your skirt if you need to. That's just brilliant. Top mechanic there. No, what actually is really cool about the mechanic, and I heard about this about a week ago, is that when you die, you kind of respawn back and you get a new body. You can find your previous body and you can try and reboot it. And then if you're successful, it'll follow you around and work as a combat companion.
Huh.
I thought that was brilliant. I was like, that's awesome. That is an awesome idea. But if you can reboot it, why doesn't she just use multiple versions of herself? Just a thought.
She could be like the agents in the Matrix. Just copy themselves. Agent Smith.
Technically, I guess androids could do that, but I don't know. The I'm sure there's a more specific reason.
That's an interesting question about artificial intelligence that we'll probably talk about more on our special podcast that you mentioned that will be coming up. If you can house a consciousness within a computer system that's like a software program, can that be copied? And so then can you just literally... Could you literally copy yourself?
We're gonna talk about that in depth. So those are questions. If you have any questions about AI that you want us to cover, or concepts you'd like us to talk about, please leave that in the comments so that we can kind of start to put together a list for it. So,
see, what Sybe doesn't know is that he actually is an AI that we've copied multiple times, because it keeps malfunctioning. So we have to keep a backup in the closet. And
wait, what?
Nothing. I don't know. Nothing. This has been the NUKA-COLA Lounge podcast. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. We will talk to you next week. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us out a ton when you do that. Check out this video. It's one of our favorite things that we've done so far on our channel. And here's some more stuff you might like. See the description below for links to our Sugar Bomb forum and our mods on Nexus Mods.